Right, we're going to get into some sub-intel, and this will come as no surprise to many. Um, the sheer volume of corruption um, and pure evil that goes on in New York should at this point be seen by everyone, including, unfortunately, the people that live in New York. You know, it beggars belief. But you've got a governor there who's beyond evil for a start. Just talking literally out of his ass. And it's fascism right in your face. And it's not the first time he's opened his mouth with fascist ideas either. So Andrew Cuomo got quite indignant when a reporter asked if anyone had objected to New York's policy of forcing nursing homes to admit recently discharged COVID-19 patients. And Cuomo says, quote, "They don't have the right to object," unquote. And Cuomo answered before the reporter finished his question and said that is the rule and that is the regulation and they have to comply with it. Now, New York isn't the only state to adopt that policy, ordering long-term care facilities to admit COVID-19 infected patients that are discharged from hospitals. And lots of people have died in the care homes. New Jersey, Massachusetts, and also California, 3 states also particularly hit hard by the novel coronavirus, also passed similar policies to free up hospital beds to make room for sicker patients, except every on-the-ground report in New York, California, and other states have reported the hospitals are all empty. There's no evidence supporting that overrun or overflowing. In fact, CNN used a hospital scene with mannequins to make it look like it was full. Now, the practice is coming under increased scrutiny now by health experts and family members of deceased patients who say the orders needlessly put the most susceptible populations at risk. Of course it did. That's what they wanted to do. That is the fact. Let's get rid of the elderly. Why? So they can claim all their estate. And it said the whole thing has just been handled awfully. They haven't handled anything. That's what people should be seeing by now. And there should be outrage in this country. The fact there isn't says a lot, and it's not good either. By everybody in regarding to nursing homes, said Kathleen Cole, who was a nurse who recently lost her 89-year-old mother who lived at Ferncliff Nursing Home in Rhinebeck, New York. She said, "It's like a slaughterhouse at these places." And Cole, who shared a story with Bucks County Courier-Times, told the paper her mother, Dolores McGoldrick, became infected with COVID-19 on April 2nd after Ferncliff readmitted a resident who had been discharged in late March. 2 weeks later, her mother, a former school teacher, was dead. Now, listen closely again. McGoldrick, her mother, who was in the care home, who wasn't sick with COVID-19, is one of nearly 5,000 COVID-19 victims who died in New York nursing homes. $5,000 in just the nursing homes. And Cuomo says they don't have the right to object. Why is that man walking amongst you? Now, New York's high nursing home death toll is not an outlier. Go figure, California is next. More money, you see. And I'm not blaming the residents of California or New York, I'm blaming the people that run those two states. California recently released data showing that some 40% of California's COVID-19 fatalities have all come from elder care homes. 40%. Pennsylvania, nursing homes account for 65% of COVID deaths. And here's the kicker here. People in nursing homes very rarely go out. They stay indoors. And yet, the government in this country has told everyone to stay indoors. Well, those nursing homes stayed indoors and nearly 5,000 New York elderly died because of it. If that doesn't make you see through what's going on, I don't know what will. So both states, like New York, had orders, see papers please, in place that required nursing homes to admit recently released COVID-19 patients. And nobody's accountable. But you see, when you're getting $13,000 per COVID patient and $39,000 for every person that goes on the ventilators, the fact whether they die or not matters little to these money-oriented people or states. And the evil, sick and incompetent way this country and others, it's not just America, have handled this fake pandemic should shake every single citizen to the core. And the fact that it's only the few that are in any way horrified is exactly why these issues exist to begin with. No one takes any responsibility or makes anybody accountable. Because if you did, you would have to fire the whole of the US government and the whole of the health department for sheer and blatant incompetence. And that's putting it best.